day. With his mind he sinned, no more with his heart he sinned, no more with his life he sinned, no more with his eyes he sinned, no more with his body he sinned, no more with his voice he sinned, no more war, no more war. Oh, nothing's too good for a veteran. Yeah, this is
No More, Eddie Vedder, a song he wrote and sings for Tomas Young. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. Our hour we are spending on a new film that is out called Body of War. Phil Donahue in the studio with us in New York co-directs this film. Tomas Young now joins us from Kansas City, Missouri. Member of Iraq Veterans Against the War, the subject of the documentary. Welcome, Tomas. I'm glad you made it to the studio.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So tell me about what it is like for this film now that you've been followed everywhere around the country in the making of it to be out. We were in Silver Spring at Winter Soldier, the hearings of active duty and veterans from Iraq and Afghanistan, and soldiers were trickling in from South by Southwest, where you had been in Austin for the opening of the film.
Well, it's been an amazing honor to travel the country with this music that I'm putting out on this album and the movie that has been an amazing experience to make, and to reach out to soldiers that are speaking out against this war and to try to touch lives on an individual basis has been an incredible experience. But right off the bat, I have to address something that Dick Cheney said yesterday.
Maybe we have a clip. Maybe we have a clip of what Dick Cheney had to say. Let's give it a try. I think this is from our headlines today. This is the Vice President, Dick Cheney.
The president carries the biggest burden, obviously. He's the one who has to make the decision to commit young Americans. But we are fortunate to have a group of men and women, all volunteer force, who voluntarily put on the uniform and go in harm's way for the rest of us.
That was Dick Cheney. Tomas Young, was that the quote you'd like to address?
Absolutely. From one of those soldiers who volunteered to go to Afghanistan after September 11th, which was where the evidence said we needed to go, to the master of the college deferment in Vietnam, the last conflict we didn't go into voluntarily. Many of us volunteered with patriotic feelings in our heart, only to see them subverted and bastardized by the administration and sent into the wrong country. Yes, we volunteered, but we didn't volunteer where you sent us to go. And I realize that we don't choose where we get to go, but we at least should be sent in the right places to defend the Constitution, just as we volunteered to do.
Tomas,
That's all.
I wanted to go to a part of the film, Body of War, which was the White House Correspondents' Dinner of 2005. It's very interesting because you were watching it. It includes President Bush joking around about the missing WMDs, as well as First Lady Laura Bush. This is the clip.
Those weapons of mass destruction got to be somewhere. Nope, no weapons over there. Maybe under here.
I said to him the other day, George, if you really want to end tyranny in the world, you're going to have to stay up later. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a desperate housewife.
They're so insulated. They don't want to know about people like Tomas.
How you doing, buddy?
And the 4 or 5% of the population that is actually sacrificing for this war.
That last voice is Tomas Young's mother, Kathy Smith. Tomas Young is shown in the film watching the White House Correspondents' Dinner and hugging his little brother. Tomas, your reaction to the skit?
Well, my reaction is twofold. I'd like to tell Laura Bush that there are probably a couple thousand desperate housewives who are quite missing their husbands and would love to have their husbands there to go to bed early before 9 o'clock. And for the president to be so glib about a lie that he told the American people and my brothers and sisters in arms to get us to go to war so blindly and patriotically for this country, it's offensive to me as a soldier first and as an American second. And now that clip that I was watching was recorded from the year previous. So I had a full year for that wound to fester and boil as far as my anger and resentment at the president making that joke and looking around the Oval Office as if the weapons of mass destruction were under his desk.
Tomas, I wanted to go to, well, near the end of the film, when you meet Democratic Senator Robert Byrd of West Virginia. We've been playing his impassioned speeches on the floor of the Senate, which figure prominently in the film. In this clip, Senator Byrd proudly reads to you the names of all the 23 senators who voted against authorizing the invasion of Iraq.
I'm going to read you the names of these.
The immortal 23?
The immortal 23. All right, here we are.